Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Ala Medhat Al Yasin, and I will talk in this presentation about the common database vulnerabilities. So let's begin with the outlines of this presentation. Brief introduction about the database management system, characteristics of the database, common database vulnerabilities, which is the main topic of this presentation. Finally, with the conclusion. So let us start with the definition of the database. Database, also called electronic database, any collection of data or information that is specially organized for rapid search and retrieval by a computer. Databases are structured to facilitate the storage, retrieval, modification, and deletion of data in conjunction with various data processing operations. Now, what is the database management system? A database management system is a software package designed to define, manipulate, retrieve, and manage data in a database. A database management system generally manipulates the data itself, the data format, file names, record structure, and file structure. There are four main types of database organization: relational database, flat database, object-oriented database, and hierarchical database. Now we have some characteristics of the database. So let's start with first one, self-describing nature of database system. Second one, support for multiple views of data. Third one, control of data redundancy, data independence, restriction of unauthorized access. Sixth one, data sharing, transaction processing, provision for multiple views of data. Well, now with the main topic of this presentation, which is common database vulnerabilities. Digital warfare and worldwide cyber attacks rates are on the rise, and protection on corporate networks is even more crucial. Databases are a key target for cyber criminals due to the often valuable nature of sensitive information locked away inside. Whether the database is financial or holds intellectual property and corporate secrets, hackers worldwide can profit from breaching a business servers and plundering database. There are a number of key security failures that cyber criminals take advantage of. However, it's often the stuff of an enterprise database developers, administrators, and the like who create the environment necessary for attacks to gain access to the data. Now with the top 10 most common database security vulnerabilities. So first one, deployment failures, which is the most harmful part. Secondly, broken databases, and we have data leaks. 4. Stolen database backups. Maybe the stolen from the outside or inside by the employees themselves. The abuse of the database features. 6. A lack of segregation. 7. Hopscotch. 8. SQL injection. And we have substandard key management. And finally with the database inconsistencies. Now the question is how we can deal with these vulnerabilities. The only way to prevent the database vulnerabilities is to make the database priority. So the fact is, the database is a crucially important asset, and its neglect will only hamstring its other endeavors. In the next slides, there are some steps on how to prevent the database vulnerabilities. We have 6 ways to prevent the database vulnerabilities. So let's start with the first one, maintain a strong framework for version control management. Proper database version control and consistent versioning prevent unwanted, undocumented, and error-prone change from being made. Even if the change is well-intentioned, not enforcing version control increases the database vulnerabilities. This version control is done by using a check-in and out system. This keeps all revision sequential and prevents employees from drifting from the revision process. Second way, never stop auditing. Keeping a database audit trail is the best way to make sure that the database will be protected from security violations, performance issues, and application flaws. A database audit trail allows for accountability, intrusion detection, problem analysis, and event reconstruction, all ways that can save your organization from a major headache and even worse, a major meltdown. Moving to the third ways to define and enforce rules and responsibilities. To prevent unauthorized or undocumented change in the database, it's essential to define, assign, and enforce distinct rules for all employees. Take advantage of permission and don't allow users to access anything that is not relevant to their position. Defined rules and responsibilities are also crucial to ensure that IT departments prevent database vulnerabilities. Fourth way, stay up to date with database regulatory compliance. Database compliance and security play a crucial role in a company corporate health, especially since its reputation is compromised after a breach or failed application release. This creates a challenging situation for sales and business development, as the company now must deal with negative publicity and fines for non compliance. Moving to the fifth way, and which is most important way, systemize and automate. The best way to handle repeating tasks is to simply automate them. Manual processing takes time and is more prone to error. Manual review of code, rewriting of entire code segments, and being called upon to resolve problems by fixing unfamiliar code all take time that could be used for more constructive projects. Reducing the risk of a human error through automation will lead to greater efficiency, prevent workarounds and redos due to the overrides. Now with the last way, prevent database vulnerabilities once and for all. There is sometimes one vulnerable element that gets ignored, the database. However, with the right mindset and willingness to enlist tools and technology to help with the process, your organization will be a step ahead of the game and able to protect all the database that they have. Finally, moving to the conclusion, which is a brief summary about my whole presentation. The need to secure a computer system is well understood, and securing data must be part of an overall computer security plan. Growing amounts of sensitive data are being retained in database, and more of these databases are being made accessible via the internet. As more data is made available electronically, it can be assumed that threats and vulnerabilities to the integrity of that data will increase as well. Database security is becoming an important topic, and students need to develop core understandings in this area. The primary objectives of the database security are to prevent unauthorized access to data, prevent unauthorized tampering or modification of data, and to ensure that the data remains available when we need it. Now, these pictures explain simply how it works. First of all, vulnerability identification, then we see the result analysis, after that, the risk assessment, and finally, we will get remediation and implementation. Now, this is my references, and this is the whole presentation. I hope you like it and enjoying it, and thank you for good listening.